Last episode was an absolute cinema. We got our very first partner, caught some new Pokemon, beat Josh in a rival battle, and successfully got the Boulder Badge from Brock. This might be a new episode, but our goal remains the same, and that is to become the very best. And to do that, we have to catch all the Pokemons available in the Cobbledex, beat all the gym leaders, and win against Vishy and Josh in our rival battles. Before we begin, we first have to set a to-do list. First, I'd like to start catching more Pokemons for the Cobbledex. While we did catch some Pokemons in the last episode, that's still not nearly enough to complete it. Second is to prepare a team that could beat Misty. I already have a team in mind, but the hard part is getting them all. Third, build a proper house. I don't want to be homeless anymore. And finally, acquire the Cascade badge from Misty. Now that that's settled, let's begin the video. Oh yeah, thank you for the tremendous amount of support from the last video. You guys are amazing. I knew that the preparations would take a very long time, so before I started doing anything, I first equipped myself with caffeine. I drank some real-life coffee and hopped into the server. There, I was greeted by both Vishy and Josh.
Hello guys, I'm back.
Hello.
I'm back.
They've been in the server for a very long time, and I got a little worried, so I asked them what time they stopped playing.
I played until 3, 4.
I left at 5.
Now that I'm rewatching this, maybe I should also be worried about myself. Psyduck is undoubtedly the MVP of my fight against Brock. This guy even acknowledged that fact, but sadly, it won't be the same against Misty. I needed a Pokemon that could deal tons of damage, be tanky, and could support the entire team. The Pokemon that came into my mind was Gyarados. Gyarados is a water-type Pokemon that has both bulk and damage in its stat. It also has the ability Intimidate. Upon entering the battle, this ability lowers down the opponent's attack stat. It was perfect because I already have a Magikarp in my PC. I placed my Psyduck inside the PC and added Magikarp into the party. Psyduck, thank you for your service. While preparing to head out, I saw a Pokemon from a distance. At first, I didn't know what it was, but after a little help with a zoom mod, I found out that it was a Dracloak. Dracloak is what you'd consider a pseudo-legendary Pokemon, and you're probably wondering what a pseudo-legendary is. To put it simply, these types of Pokemons are a lot rarer compared to normal Pokemons. They need to have a base stat of 600, and they must also have 3 stages of evolution. If a Pokemon is missing one of these criteria, then that means that they are just normal Pokemons. Sorry, I don't. I challenged the Dracloak to a battle with hopes of capturing it. I wanted to test my luck, so I quickly used an Ultra Ball on it. Sadly, it broke free and attacked my Munchlax with U-turn. It dealt 80% of its HP. Munchlax might have survived, but if it breaks free again, then it will surely be gone afterwards. Luckily, the Ultra Ball that I used actually worked. I don't know how lucky that catch is, but I successfully got my first pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Even though I won't be able to use it in battles, I was still happy that I caught it. I then tried to upgrade my backpack using the gold tier upgrade, but it wasn't working for some reason. So, I did a little bit of research. And after researching, I found out that I had to upgrade my backpack tier by tier. And since I didn't have the materials for it, I went ahead and started traveling instead. The main reason on why I wanted to go on this adventure was because I wanted to start working on my Cobbledex. If I want to be the very best, then I really have to start catching them all. After teleporting to my crater, I quickly spotted a Tinkating, a cute Pokemon with a small hammer. I weakened it and caught it. My catching spree wasn't over just yet though, because a few minutes later, I caught a Ponyta. But it wasn't just any Ponyta, it was a Paldean one. Normal Ponyta is a pure fire type, but a Paldean Ponyta is a psychic type. After catching it, I then worked on catching a Butterfree. It KO'd my Bulbasaur, but I was able to catch it after a few more tries. As I kept venturing the world, I spotted the Gimmighoul tower. This was the perfect chance to finally capture a Gimmighoul. That or get some more loot. I went to the top and found a Gimmighoul. I still remember how it used up all of my Pokeballs. This time, I won't fail. I sent out Munchlax to fight it, but there was one problem. Munchlax is a normal type, and Gimmighoul is a ghost type. None of Munchlax's moves worked against it, so I sent out Bulbasaur. Gimmighoul quickly used Astonish and weakened my Bulbasaur even further. I tried using Razor Leaf against it. It didn't do that much damage. It once again used Astonish, but Bulbasaur survived with 1 HP. If I want to save my Bulbasaur from fainting, I had to use my luck and capture this Gimmighoul now. Thankfully, it quickly got caught. Since Bulbasaur was able to survive that fight, he was also able to get the EXP needed to evolve. I evolved it and immediately butchered its name. Oh my gosh, Evisaur! I also noticed that Bulbasaur wasn't the only Pokemon that was ready to evolve, because Magikarp also wanted to have a glow up. Yes! You're useful now! Then I went to the very top and immediately tried using it, and let's just say that it didn't disappoint.
big. Oh, yeah, bitch.
Since we added a Cobble Rider mod into the server, I was able to start riding it. But then it lagged my game. I reconnected and was greeted by another Gyarados. It surprised me at first, but I couldn't interact with it, so I quickly left. Before the day finished, I challenged a young kid to a Pokemon battle. I beat him. This isn't bullying, right? Then, I spotted a Torkoal. Torkoal is slow, but incredibly tanky. It's normally used as a supportive tank because of its ability Drowse. This ability summons a harsh sunlight into the battle. I wanted to put it in my team, but when I fought it, I noticed that it was level 30. This is bull. I still caught it because it might come in useful later on. Day 15 started with me catching a Lapras and a Pikachu. I then visited a village nearby and tried stealing, but they only had food inside the chest, so I didn't take any of it since we're playing on peaceful mode. While I was inside the village, Josh spotted something very rare.
Ooh, whoa, what are you? Yo, a Zapdos.
A Zapdos, one of the 3 legendary birds introduced in Pokemon Red. I was surprised, but thought that even if he got it, he still won't be able to use it in battles. You see, we're not allowed to use any legendary Pokemon until we have all the gym badges. We added this rule so that all of us would be able to learn more about battling with normal Pokemons. While Josh was trying to catch a Zapdos, I went ahead and caught an Aron, activated a Waystone, and encountered an Arcanine.
What?
Oh! I wasn't going to use this Arcanine, but I did want to catch it. I used Waterfall on it, hoping that it wouldn't die. But I went first and used Thunderfang. It one-shotted my Gyarados. I mean, at least it didn't die, right? I sent out Munchlax and used Body Slam. Because of that, Arcanine became paralyzed. Munchlax used Body Slam again, but Arcanine used Roar, a move that forces your other Pokemons to switch with the one you're currently using. It brought out Eevee. I knew Eevee won't be able to survive a single attack from Arcanine, so I quickly used an Ultra Ball. A few shakes later, and I caught it. I also caught 2 more Pokemons while I was there. Yeah. Then I went back home to heal up my Pokemons. I was also running out of Pokeballs, so I gathered some apricorns from my farm. Don't worry, Josh. I won't steal from you anymore. Just kidding. I stole some more apricorns from Josh. After crafting more Ultra Balls, I then continued my journey. I fought this butler-looking ass guy and went towards another tower. After all this time, Josh was still trying to catch the Zapdos.
Oh, 3. Come on, man. 1 more, please.
I think he's going insane. Seconds later,
It died.
I found out that the Zapdos died. I kind of feel bad for him now. I went to the top of the tower, activated the Waystone, and quickly left when I encountered the Gimmighoul at the very top. On day 17, I just did the same things. I caught some more Pokemons, bullied, battled against a trainer, and committed animal abuse. Please don't tell the vegans. While exploring, I was able to encounter another Pokemon that I wanted to add to my party, a Shedinja. Shedinja is the evolved form of Nincada. At first, it might look like another boring bug-type Pokemon, but what makes it different is its ability. Shedinja has the ability Wonder Guard, an ability that prevents any normal effective move from damaging the Pokemon that has it, except if it's a super effective move. Let's say a Squirtle tried to use Water Gun on Shedinja. Shedinja won't be damaged by it at all, because it's only a normal effective move. But if a Charmander used Flamethrower on it...
Oh no!
then it'll receive damage. But of course, we can't forget about its funny stat. It only has 1 HP. I couldn't weaken it due to its HP being only 1. So, I just threw some Ultra Balls at it. After throwing a bunch of Ultra Balls, I forgot that it could take damage from status effects. I sent out my Bulbasaur and accidentally used Poison Powder on it. It died after 1 turn.
No!
Why am I so stupid? Luckily, there was another Shedinja nearby. This time, I used Sleep Powder instead of Poison Powder. I caught it and continued my journey. Mr. Editor, can you just remove the first attempt?
Shut your
My search wasn't done yet though. I wanted one more Pokemon on my team, Beldum. Beldum is a Steel and Psychic type pseudo-legendary Pokemon, known for being the first evolution form of Metagross. I wanted a Metagross badly, because its typing is great for both defense and offense, also because it's one of my favorite Pokemons. I stayed on the Stony Peaks biome to wait for a Beldum to spawn. While I was there, I caught some new Pokemons, evolved my Eevee, and battled some more trainers. As I kept waiting, something unexpected spawned.
Oh bullshit!
A Moltres, one of the legendary birds from Pokemon Red. I finally have the chance to catch a legendary Pokemon. I have 31 Ultra Balls in my inventory. Surely that's enough, right? I challenged it to a battle and instantly threw an Ultra Ball at it. I wanted to test my luck. Plus, it surely won't be able to one-shot my Munchlax. It did 80% of its HP. It's alright. I still have a bunch of chances to catch these Pokemon. I used another Ultra Ball at it. It broke free. It used Heat Wave again, KOing my Munchlax. I insulted it a little bit.
Fuck you, McDonald's.
Then I sent out Gyarados. Using Intimidate, it lowered down Moltres' attack stat. I quickly tried damaging it using Waterfall, but it was able to move first. But I'm certain that it's fine, since I lowered its attack stat before. Surely Gyarados won't die from one shot. It died from one shot. I sent out my Ivysaur and tried using Sleep Powder, but it moved first and knocked out my Pokemon. I have 2 Pokemons left. If I want to catch this Moltres, I have to do it fast. Honedge was up next. And immediately, it used Shadow Sneak, but it didn't do that much damage. Moltres used Air Slash and one-shotted my Honedge. It was time for my last Pokemon to show up. I switched to Fletchling, but it didn't really look like it wanted to fight, so I threw an Ultra Ball instead. It shaked once, then twice, then it broke free. It used Heat Wave and KO'd my Fletchling. But I wasn't about to give up just yet. I started catching it without initiating a battle. I threw my first Ultra Ball. It shook once, then twice, then 3 times, but it broke free on the 4th.
No, it was 3.
I threw another Ultra Ball, but the same thing happened. I threw another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. The more I tried, the harder it became to catch it, but I'm not giving up. I got an idea. We're now allowed to use high-level Pokemons against trainers, but nobody said anything about using it against wild Pokemons. I brought in Lapras and Dracloak into the party. This will give me a higher chance of capturing this fried chicken. I fought it again, but this time Dracloak was able to use Phantom Force, a ghost-type move that makes the user hide for one turn and attack the second turn. Moltres used Flamethrower, but he missed. Dracloak used Phantom Force again, healing 50% of its HP. Moltres attacked back using Air Slash, but it didn't do much. I used another Phantom Force, but because of that, Moltres got to heal itself using Roost.
Wait, that's elite.
Dracloak again attacked using Phantom Force, but this time, Moltres was able to attack back using Flamethrower. In panic, I decided to use an Ultra Ball. It shaked once, then twice, but it broke free again. Why is this guy being so difficult? It used another Flamethrower, putting my Dracloak to 20% HP. Then I used another Ultra Ball with hopes of capturing it, but it broke free again. I still have 19 Ultra Balls left to use, but it finally knocked out my Dracloak. I had to send out my Lapras, but I forgot to heal it, so it was still weak from earlier. I used another Ultra Ball, but it broke free after one shake. Lapras then fainted from Heat Wave. If I wanted to catch this Pokemon, I had to start relying on RNG. I quickly began throwing Ultra Balls at it. First Ultra Ball, it broke free. Second Ultra Ball, it broke free again. Third Ultra Ball, same result. Fourth Ultra Ball, it still kept getting out. I had to do something different, but I didn't have a choice. I kept mindlessly throwing Ultra Balls at it, but it kept escaping all of it. I only have 10 Ultra Balls left. My chances of capturing this Pokemon became lower and lower. I kept throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing until I only had 5 more Ultra Balls left. At this point, I knew I wasn't going to get it. My 5 Ultra Balls went down to 4, then it went down to 3, then it went down to 2, then finally, it went down to 1. I guess it's time to give up. But suddenly, I remembered a quote from the Pokemon series.
More like a fallen Pidgey.
I won't let you talk about yourself that way. Just be confident. You can do anything that you set your mind to. Do you understand?
Yes.
And are you changing your underwear every day?
Yes.
I can do anything? But I only have 1 more chance left. Is this really possible? Of course it is. If I'm going to be the best Pokemon trainer, then of course I can do it. I threw my last Ultra Ball at it. It shaked once, then twice, then 3 times, then...
Oh, we got it. Oh my
With my last
God.
Ultra Ball, I finally caught it. I got my first ever legendary Pokemon in Cobblemon. I placed the Waystone I had in my inventory and went back home happy that day. But I feel like I'm forgetting something. The next day, Josh wanted to have my Lapras, so I told him to give me something to trade with. And while Josh was looking for a Pokemon to trade, I spotted the Cinderace, the 3rd evolution of Scorbunny. It was incredibly rare, so I instantly tried catching it. It really did seem like Josh didn't want me to catch his starter Pokemon. I mean, he's even helping it escape. But after a few more tries, I caught it. Then, we went back to our trade. Josh gave me his Phantom for my Lapras. I honestly didn't mind any Pokemon, because I was more focused on completing the Cobbledex. After the trade, I noticed that I can evolve the Phantom. I quickly evolved it to see how it looked like in Cobblemon.
Oh, I don't really like it. You look good, bro. Trade again?
It looked so good that Josh even wanted to trade for it again. I accepted and got a petillo out of it. I know it's not worth it, but anything for the Cobble decks. Day 22 was when I began constructing my base. I started by terraforming the entire place.
I live with my Pokemon.
Then I built the main shape of the house. But after a few minutes, I got sidetracked and started exploring. I think I have ADHD. But on day 23, I went back to spawn and enchanted 2 of my pickaxes. The first one was good, but I wanted Silk Touch. The second pickaxe gave me efficiency 3. I didn't want it, so I gave it to Josh. I then continued building my house. This video is the one I'm copying for this house design. So, if you'd like to build houses like these, then make sure to head over to their channel. On day 25, Josh gave me a spear that I could fly with. Not gonna lie, that's very kind of him. As I was finishing the house, we suddenly saw a notification in chat. An Articuno has spawned. As of now, both Josh and me have encountered Zapdos and Moltres. So it was almost fate that Articuno spawned near Vishy. And with a little bit of help from the admin commands, we were able to watch Vishy's attempt to capture Articuno. He was doing good at first, but one mistake ruined everything. He used Rock Blast, a rock type move that hits the opponent for 3 to 5 times. It dealt so much damage to Articuno, so much so that it killed it.
What? How did you know?
Nice try, Vishy. On day 27, I was finally able to finish building the base, but I still had to fix the interiors. So I placed all my things inside, added a bit more details around the house, and finally, I was finished.
I think yours is faster. Yeah, yours is... Oh, wait, no.
The very next day, me and Josh started working on the arena that we'll be using temporarily. We started by building the shape first. Since we didn't have all the materials needed, I went to the nether to get some quartz and gravel. While I was at the nether, I saw Larvista on the map and immediately searched for it. A few minutes of digging later, I found it by the cliff.
Found him.
Good thing it didn't jump. I caught it and went back to collecting materials. As I was looking for things to gather, I accidentally recalled my Pokemon and fell inside the lava. I died. I might have skill issue. I respawned back to base and crafted some blue concrete. Before placing down the blocks, we first tried experimenting with other blocks first. We used netherrack as a joke, but to our surprise, it actually looked nice.
Oh shit, looks good. Look at this.
The problem with it is that it needed glass on top of it, so we settled for blue concrete first. That way, we won't need to go back and forth. Then, Josh showed me his shiny Umbreon. Not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous. The arena was finally ready. We prepared the Pokemons that we were going to use and started our official rival battles. But yeah, I forgot to mention, the reason on why we're having a rival battle right now is because of the new rule that we added. That rule being, before fighting a gym leader, we first need to have a battle between each other.
Baba Bowie.
And whatever Pokemons we use in our rival battle will also be the Pokemons we use against the gym leader. But that's not the only rule we added. We didn't want anyone to start speedrunning the gym fights. So, to prevent that from happening, we decided that we're forbidden to fight the gym leaders if another person hasn't beaten the gym leader before it yet. Josh and Vishy were up first. Josh led the fight with Sylveon, and Vishy went with Gyarados. Thanks to Gyarados' Intimidate, Sylveon's attack went down. Vishy went first and used Waterfall. It dealt 50% of Sylveon's HP. Thankfully, it healed back up using Berry Juice. Josh countered by using Sand Attack, lowering Gyarados' accuracy. Vishy went for another Waterfall, but it missed. Josh again used Sand Attack, lowering its accuracy even further. Again, Gyarados used Waterfall, but it just couldn't stop missing. Josh used Bite. Unfortunately, it didn't deal that much damage. Gyarados used another Waterfall, but this time it connected. Sylveon kept using Sand Attack. At this point, just take away its ice, man. Vishy finished the Sylveon off using Brine. Even though Josh lost his first Pokemon, I still think he's in an alright position. He sent out Maushold. Maushold may look cute, but don't let this one fool you, because Josh's Maushold has Super Fang, a move that puts any Pokemon's HP to 50% no matter the level of the Pokemon. Maushold then used Super Fang and successfully put Gyarados to half HP. Thanks to all those accuracy drops, Gyarados missed again. Josh then kept using Super Fang, and Vishy kept missing. This time, Josh was looking to end Gyarados, so he used Double Hit, but it missed! This was Vishy's chance to one-hit KO this Maushold, but it also missed. Josh might be the luckiest trainer alive. Josh used Bullet Seed, putting Gyarados to the red, but Vishy was finally able to attack back. He used Waterfall, bringing Maushold to half. Sadly, Maushold just healed back up, and it KO'd Gyarados using another Bullet Seed. Vishy sent out Quaxwell. Josh continued his strategy and used Super Fang. But Vishy fought back using Low Sweep. It brought Maushold to 10%. He used another Super Fang, but Vishy got rid of Maushold with another Low Sweep. 4 against 5. It's not looking good for Josh, but it's not going to get better anytime soon. Josh sent out Pikachu, hoping that I could at least get rid of Quaxwell. Quaxwell was swapped out for Lilligant. Josh wasn't able to read the switch and used a not very effective Electro Ball. Hoping to salvage the situation, Josh swapped out his Pikachu for his Licky. I just have to say, that Pokemon's weird as fuck. Lilligant used Leaf Storm, putting Josh's Pokemon to half HP. But since it used Leaf Storm, that meant that Lilligant's special attack also went down. Because of that, Vishy wasn't able to KO Licky with another Leaf Storm, but it was still able to get rid of it in the next turn. Josh sent out Rabu to get rid of Lilligant, but Vishy swapped out again, bringing his Hunter. Rabbit used Ember on it. It didn't do much, but it was able to burn the Hunter. They attacked back and forth until Josh blundered and used Quick Attack on Hunter, letting Hunter use Hex before it finally went down. It was another back and forth. Vishy's Hone Edge fainted from Hunter's Hex, and Josh's Hunter fainted from Kirlia. Josh used Electro Ball on Kirlia, dealing a decent amount of damage. Vishy was forced to switch out, but sadly, Lilligant was up next, a Pokemon that was able to counter Pikachu this whole entire match. Leaf Storm finished Pikachu off, and Vishy became the first person to win. Up next was me against Vishy. He healed up his Pokemons and we started the battle. I sent out Ivysaur, and Vishy sent out Lilligant. I knew none of my attacks would do well against Lilligant, but I also knew Lilligant won't be able to threaten Ivysaur. I used Poison Powder on it, but Vishy switched out to Kirlia. Kirlia was poisoned. It would have been a good switch if I wasn't using Ivysaur. You see, Kirlia has the ability Synchronize. Synchronize lets the attacker receive the same status effect inflicted to the user. Simply put, it's an Uno reverse card. I was planning on switching my Ivysaur out, but before that, I wanted to use Leech Seed first. Kirlia used Psybeam, dealing a ton of damage to Ivysaur. I swapped into Munchlax. Vishy tried attacking, but it wasn't able to do that much damage. Right now, Kirlia has both Poison and Leech Seed damaging it. It was a no-brainer for Vishy to swap it out now. Since I was expecting a switch, I used Stockpile. As expected, Vishy switched to Quaxwell. I didn't know what moves Quaxwell had, so I gambled on stockpiling. Vishy used Low Sweep, a super effective move. Luckily, it wasn't able to do that much damage. Vishy attacked again using Low Sweep. Munchlax retaliated using Body Slam, taking away half of Quaxwell's HP and also paralyzing it.
Yes!
Munchlax finished it off with another Body Slam. Vishy then sent out Hone Edge. It used Night Slash, but I was able to use Bite. Vishy swapped into his Gyarados, lowering my Munchlax attack stat. I knew Munchlax won't be able to do much in this matchup, so I sent out Shedinja. If Vishy knows what Shedinja is, then it'll probably die in one turn. But if it doesn't, then Shedinja might just win me this battle. Sadly, Vishy knew what to do and used Crunch on it. Shedinja fainted. To threaten Gyarados, I sent out Ivysaur. But Vishy was prepared for this. He used Ice Fang to quickly get rid of my Ivysaur. My Ivysaur fainted. I had 4 more Pokemons left, but I accidentally misclicked. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. Gyarados was able to lower down Vishy's attack. I kept damaging Vishy's Gyarados, but after a bit, he switched to his Lilligant. Vishy really wanted to get rid of my Gyarados, but I wasn't going to let him do that. I sent out Munchlax as a sacrifice. Because of that, I was able to send out my Hone Edge for free. I tried using Air Slash, but Vishy swapped again, sending out his Gyarados. Before Vishy could attack, I swapped to my Jolteon. I used Double Edge, thinking that he'd switch to his Lilligant again, but he stayed and sacrificed his Gyarados.
What the fuck? He didn't switch?
Lilligant was brought out. It KO'd my Jolteon with 1 Leaf Storm. I sent out Hone Edge, but Vishy made a good read and brought in Hunter. I knew I'd be able to one-shot Hunter with Shadow Sneak, but I blundered and used Night Slash instead. Because of that, Vishy went first and one-shotted my Hone Edge using Hex. I only had 1 Pokemon left. I sent out Gyarados and immediately used Crunch, but Vishy went first, bringing my Gyarados HP lower. I was able to knock it out, but Gyarados didn't have much HP, and the next Pokemon would most likely be Lilligant. Now, I'm not going to give up just yet. I had 1 chance of winning this, but it involves luck. Lilligant is already low, so if I'm able to attack it even once, then I win. The problem is, Lilligant is faster than Gyarados. There's only one way for me to win this, and that's only possible if Vishy misses. I prepared my move, and Vishy used Leaf Storm. This has to miss. It did! Since it missed, I was able to get rid of Lilligant. Vishy then sent out Hone Edge, but Gyarados was able to knock it out. Kirlia was the last Pokemon, but since it was already weak, Gyarados was able to finish Vishy's Pokemon off, making me the winner for this battle.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. Saved by Arceus for real.
I won against Vishy, but this wasn't the time to celebrate because I still have to beat Josh. We prepared the Pokemons that we were going to use and started the next battle. Josh started with Pikachu, while I went for Ivysaur. I was in a good spot, since Pikachu didn't have any good moves against grass types. Josh knew that, and went for Thunder Wave. It paralyzed my Ivysaur, but it was still able to use Leech Seed. I used Poison Powder, but Josh swapped into Reboot. That switch actually made this battle easier for me. I switched into Munchlax since I knew he was going to try to use a fire type move. Reboot used Flame Charge, dealing a decent amount of damage to Munchlax. Josh kept attacking, but I knew I only had to prolong this battle. I kept using Stockpile. It was going good, but Munchlax was incredibly low. I had to do something, so I swapped into Gyarados. Josh used Double Kick, but it barely did any damage. He got hurt from poison. After looking at how low Raboot is, I knew that Josh would switch into another Pokemon. From the looks of it, it was quite obvious that he'd send out Pikachu, since Gyarados is incredibly weak against electric types. I could send out Bulbasaur again, but he'll just switch if I do. I had to use a Pokemon that could ruin his strategy. There's only one Pokemon that could do it, Shedinja. Josh went first and used Thunder Wave. Well, I used Dig. Pikachu then used Agility, but that move was a huge mistake, because now Shedinja will be able to attack. It couldn't move.
No, we didn't hit.
This game is shit! Josh tried attacking, but Shedinja was immune. Shedinja dug down again, but Josh swapped his Pokemon. He brought in Muzzhold. Shedinja attacked, dealing a decent amount of damage. Muzzhold used Hyper Fang, but it also didn't work.
What? Huh?
Out of panic, Josh sent out his Hunter. Shedinja's Dig wasn't able to connect since Hunter is immune to ground type moves. Knowing that Hunter has a dark type move, I knew I had to switch out. I sent out Gyarados, while Hunter used Lick. Gyarados attacked back using Waterfall, KOing Hunter. With this, I was finally on the lead. Josh sent out Pikachu, while I swapped into my Shedinja again. Not being able to attack Shedinja, Josh was forced to switch into another Pokemon. He sent out Sylveon, but I knew Sylveon didn't have any moves that can kill off Shedinja, so I kept it in. It used Bite. Alright, maybe I'm just stupid. Ivysaur was up next. Josh used Light Screen to support his team, but I attacked back using Leech Seed. Sylveon then used Bite, but Ivysaur used Poison Powder against it. It healed back up using Leech Seed and Leftovers. Josh then swapped again, bringing Raboot into the fight. It was low and poisoned, but I knew that I could still one-shot my Ivysaur, so I swapped into Gyarados. He attacked Gyarados, but the poison dealt more damage to it. He sent out Mousehold. It was obvious that he'd want to use Super Fang, but luckily, I still have Hone Edge. I sent it out and Super Fang did nothing to it. Josh swapped again, this time sending out Licky Licky. With the help of Knockoff, Honedge's HP went down to 50%. I swapped into Ivysaur and continued using Leech Seed and Poison Powder. Now it was the waiting game. Josh came close to KOing my Ivysaur, but Ivysaur took it down first. Mousehold was up next. It then finished off my Ivysaur using Echoed Voice. I brought in Honedge. Josh sent out Pikachu. Why is there so many switches in this battle? Honedge was able to use Shadow Sneak, but Pikachu took it down with Electro Ball. I sent out Munchlax. Pikachu used its last Electro Ball till finally fainting to Body Slam. Mousehold ended Munchlax. But since all of Josh's remaining Pokemons are weak, Gyarados was able to finish off his remaining Pokemons, making me the winner of this rival battle.
Sad my Jolteon didn't show it at all.
While I did have some misplays here and there, I was still happy with how it went. Then we tried spawning in Misty, but we didn't know how to, so we just teleported her to us. Unfortunately, Josh also teleported the other trainers onto the arena, so we killed them all.
Alright.
Don't blame me, blame Josh. The next day, I challenged Misty to a battle. Telling you that it was a sweep would be an understatement. I began the fight with Ivysaur, while Misty went for Frogadier. It used Ice Punch, putting my Ivysaur's HP to 30%. I attacked back using Seed Bomb, putting her to 50% HP. I swapped to Jolteon, but Frogadier used Ice Punch again, dealing a decent amount of damage to Jolteon. Jolteon used Thunder Shock, but because of Protein, Frogadier changed his type to Ice type, making my Thunder Shock useless against it. She switched to Starmie, but Jolteon used Thunder Shock before it died to Starmie's Scald. I sent out Shedinja, hoping that it could do a fair amount of damage. But here's the thing, Misty's Pokemon are all water types, and none of them has any move that is super effective to Shedinja. Basically, Shedinja steamrolled the entire battle. I beat Misty, giving me the Cascade badge. I might have cheesed it, but a win is a win. After I got the badge, I noticed Josh trying to capture a Moltres. With a little bit of luck, he was able to get it.
Oh, I got it.
Lucky bastard. The next day, Josh and Vishy finally got their gym badge from Misty. It took them a few tries, but at least they got it. We finished battling, so I decided to fix the Apricorn farm to end of the episode. Hey guys, Future Lee here. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Sorry for not being able to upload as fast as possible. This video really did take a while to make, so hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to upload quickly, but I'm hoping that the video quality remains the same, or even better. Also, please excuse my voice at some parts of the video. I was sick. Well, I still am. But anyways, thanks for watching.